You know, sometimes luck comes in the most unusual package. We have 3 sevens here already, 3 sevens. And then a 3 and a 4, actually, technically 4 sevens. So we have the 7 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the 7 of Swords. And then we have the 3 of Wands and the Death card. Now, Death is a 13, but 1 and 3 is 4. So 3 and 4 is 7. Hold on. Hey, Bridget, I was just messaging you. I was just messaging you. Sometimes persevering through blockages using humor is the only way to stay on the tightrope when everyone's trying to knock you off of it. This is planning to connect. The illusions are dying off. And the potential that you are seeing through the shadow work that you've been doing is starting to really elevate and take hold in your soul. It's like sometimes you look at it and you're like, I can do this. I can be the role model that I want to be. And then sometimes your mind is your worst enemy. Much like, everybody else in the world, right? Except for people who don't really think all that much, but it's not a blessing you nor I have been bestowed with. Hence, the intervals of addictive substance and behavioral moments of that. You know what I mean? 7 of Wands, 7 of Cups, 7 of Swords, 3 of Wands, and the Death card. This is like a legitimate death card. Oh, good. I'm glad you're getting to have a wonderful day with him. Good morning, Gingiska. So then we have... Now, I was thinking about this because this looks like a death card. You know what I mean? Like proper death card. This is the death card. But last time, which was a few years ago, the last time I had predicted, I was like, you be prepared if somebody passes away when you're really close to them, blah, blah, blah. And it turned out that I was actually having a death in my own life. And it was bleeding out into the KR reading. And I think the reason it was bleeding out into the KR reading again is because it's like that person who passed away was really close to my birth father, and my birth father's birthday, and Keanu Reeves is, I just sang him happy birthday not 2 minutes ago. So it was weird. It was like this energy connection. It was like the lines got crossed. And that was devastating for me. So all the advice that I was giving you about being prepared for death. It was like that whole reading was like me preparing myself, or spirit preparing me, you know. And sometimes it's easier to digest hard a hard topic like that. Sorry, I'm still getting over a cold. It's easier to digest a hard topic such as death. If somebody who's very close to you, it's easier if it's externalized. And this reading, just for a second, reminded me of that. You know, sometimes we place difficult storylines on external people, places, and things because it's easier than confronting the fact that it's our storyline. Now, the shadow work that I see here, it feels internal. It's like you're doing it inside of yourself. Even if you're not projecting out. Good morning, smarty girl. Even if you're not projecting out your healing, there are ways for people to tell that you're doing it. But a lot of the shadow work is being done within your mind. And that's why sometimes you're in a bit of a struggle with yourself. It's like the good versus evil going on in your mind. Someone recently, literally yesterday, they're like, "Oh, do you have a tick?" A friend of mine was sitting with me, and because I'm like always kind of doing this, but I have pain in my neck and my back, and like when I do this, it's like stretching it out. So I mean, it probably looks like I do have a tick. You know, I'm like stretching like this, or I'll do this, like I'll pull my muscle up, like just trying to stretch it out. But it's funny, I was always conscious of it, but no one ever said anything to me about it until yesterday. And I'm like, oh, so people have been noticing it for 40 years and no one's ever said anything to me. What if I did have a tick and it was a neurological problem? No one mentioned it. Oh, God. So I'm listening to Rachmaninoff. It's a romantic composer. You can feel the passion and the tension and the aggression and the softness. It's really beautiful. But, you know, I keep coming back to the idea of 7777. It's like, you know, winning the sluts, you know, the slot machines when you get 7777. Why? You win a bunch of money. But this feels like spiritual energetic winning. It's like laughing all the way to the spiritual bank. You know? See, even right now, I'm stretching my neck. Because it fucking hurts, man. Ever since my pregnancy. I mean, before that, I always had pains, but I was able to work through them. But since the pregnancy, I have had a really hard time getting myself out of it. Really, really difficult. It's like Three of Wands in this particular deck is the proposal deck. It's like he's thinking and planning, like, what is it going to be like? How do I plan this out? What piece of jewelry do I get? Where am I going to be and go and do and all this kind of thing? And then you've got the Seven of Cups, which is all this illusionary stuff. And then the Death card. Now, again, if the death card is, could again be something on my side that's projecting through into your energy. So, take that with a grain of salt. Now I'm like really skeptical, right? Like, is it something coming through that's actually my message? Like specifically the death card, like a death in the family or by somebody very close to you. It's like, this feels like, what if it's my energy and it has nothing to do with you and it's projecting into your energy field again? I mean, who knows? Maybe you did experience a death at that time, but I wasn't aware of it. I mean, I was hyper aware of the death that I was experiencing, though. Like, you got people around you cutting themselves on their own seriousness. Or these are different aspects of self. It's like trying not to take yourself too seriously. Sometimes failing, sometimes winning. But healers go through the hardest lessons. I mean, that's pretty much what we signed up for, Whether you're healing people through your works, whether you're healing people through your presence or your speech, or even just simply by being and existing. There are different ways to heal others. There's another 7. Now there's 5 sevens. 5 is a catalyst for abrupt, crazy change, And you got all these 7s. This is an extra 7 of cups. The only 7 I don't see is 7 of pentacles. This isn't a pentacles sort of a situation. I mean, there's pentacles on the board, don't get me wrong, but it's mostly talking about balance and taking things slow and steady. Because you've got like really fast energy next to really slow energy. Which is also, and then with the balance card, it's like you need to balance yourself moving fast and slow, I guess, right? To some degree. Know when to roll and know when to break. Sometimes you don't win the race by being the fastest. Sometimes you win the race because you were the most strategic in how you managed your corners. You managed the change in the road. Sometimes the most brilliant competitors aren't the fastest. They're the most equipped in handling change. Unusual circumstance, Like imagine like a football game, could be soccer, right? Football or American football, doesn't matter. But imagine a game where you've got one team that is used to playing in all different kinds of weather, all different kinds of pitches, like different kinds of turf and grass and mud and dirt, and they play in everything. Snow, they just play in all of it. So whenever they're playing against a competitor, they're very good with adjusting themselves to the different climates and the different atmospheres. So they're a force to be reckoned with. They might not be the best team in the league, but they're definitely the most adequate and adept at change management, right? Sounds like a corporate job description. Change manager. Change management. Like the man is looking at a ring, but there's like necklaces and bracelets and earrings and all sorts of stuff all around. Should it be simple? With the ideal cut and clarity and, with just the right amount of inclusions to elicit the most beautiful sparkle? Or do I go something elaborate and sacrifice, the quality for showy, for a show, basically? But I feel like you already know the answer to that question. It's like less is more and more is less, like quality over quantity. If this person is who they say they are, or who you feel they are, or who you whatever, they wouldn't care if you gave them a Cracker Jack box thing. But this is just a tiny little thought of like a million other thoughts that could be rolling around in the brain, either now or in the future, or in the past, or on an alternate path if you make different choices, right? Not every path is always available to us at every time. It all depends on what kind of choices we make in the moment. Do you choose to go out that day instead of stay in? Do you choose to take that trip, or do you choose to stay, where you're at? Or do you choose to meet that person or not? And every little micro choice, from going to the coffee shop to having it delivered, every little micro choice creates ripple effects in the space-time continuum of your reality. That's why I call this opportunity presenting. I don't read your future, I read your possibilities. And sometimes my own fucking possibilities are bleeding into your storyline. So, take it with a grain of salt. It was weird. It was the reading I needed. But I wasn't reading for myself at that time. So it was almost like a way for Spirit to just sneak in the message that I needed for myself. It was funny. I ended up helping myself through a really, really hard time, inadvertently, by trying to help somebody else. And sometimes that's how life is. You think you're doing something for somebody else, and you think you're helping somebody else, and you look back and you go, man, it was Spirit's way of getting me to help myself, because I wouldn't have done it for me, but I do it for other people. That's a giver for you. Givers tend to give. I was watching a video, and I forwarded it to a couple of you guys, and it was a discussion about people hating those who help them. Like you end up helping and giving and over giving and over helping and trying to go above and beyond, and then the next thing you know, those are the same people that are talking badly about you and screwing you over and all this. It doesn't hurt nearly as, I'll say it like this, it doesn't hurt nearly as much as it used to. I don't know about you, but it doesn't hurt nearly as much as it used to. It still stings. I mean, it just happened to me. It's been going on for the last few weeks, but it definitely happened to me yesterday, heavy. I had to block somebody I didn't want to block because, you always want to believe the best. It's like, man, I put a lot of effort into trying to help you, and you're biting the hand, you bite the hand that feeds you. The hand doesn't want to feed you, It's like, shit. Okay. I can't help you then. It's like sometimes it'd be the people that you're trying to help the most that make the loudest accusations and aggressive stances against you. This is also probably what has been helping with your shadow work. And I'm looking at this, and yet, it can be viewed as in a negative way, right? Like the puppet master, blah, blah, blah. But let's say it's also a positive energy. Let's say the guy who's puppeteering isn't trying to manipulate for negativity. He's like, each of those strings is a way that they're trying to help the person, right? And every time they give, it pulls a string of that person, not because they're trying to manipulate or control, but just because that's what happens. You give somebody a resource and they act and they do something with it, or they whatever. And it's like helping these two people, flowing them resources, and then watching them talk behind, even right in front of you, talking badly about you. And you're like, dude, I'm literally right here. I'm trying to help you. What are you doing? But this is actually a piece of the puzzle that leads to your success, believe it or not, because it gives you a perspective switch on certain things. There's the Knight of Pentacles, another slow-moving card, and then karma, choices. Death and rebirth, death and rebirth. And you know what? That's kind of what this is to a degree, look at it. Death and rebirth, rebirthing self. And it's shadow work, rebirthing self through the shadow work. But this is the outcome. It's like you are the butterfly. Eight of Wands. It's funny because it's like there's, again, slow and steady wins the race, and then super fast paced as well. And it's the same thing over here. It's balancing this like slow and fast movement energy, balancing them out. And then you've got Four of Wands, which is this celebratory, and the Hangman. Generational curse breaker. And then finding the silliness in the spiritual evolution, right? Not taking everything so seriously. Learning how to spiritually evolve and maintain a joyful child ego. Just like fearless and inquisitive and excited about living, and pulling yourself back to that energy breaks the generational curses that have been going through your family lineage for generations. And viewing the way in which you celebrate differently. Not being ridiculous, being silly. Having a good time without all the pomps and circumstance and pretense. Without needing, drugs and alcohol and, overtly sexual activities and images and all that. It's just like having a just good, wholesome, good, silly time with your friends and having fun. This is generational curse breaking energy. It's like you have choices. Do you want to spend your birthday trying to please others? Do you want to spend your birthday just unwinding, chilling out, having a good time? You know, I keep thinking barbecue. I don't see you as a barbecue kind of guy, but, you know, it's that kind of an energy. Sitting out in the yard, chatting, having a good, just relaxed time. Happiness, a path to happiness, facing fears for a fabulous future. Two of Swords, you have a choice. You have choices. Something about like performing for others or others performing for you. You know, and you recognize that the majority of those around you are sleeping, spiritually sleeping. They're in this state of unconscious survival, just grubbing on the leaves, you know what I mean? Like they're not quite in the shadow work yet. They're not quite there yet. And you recognize this. You know, so when you first recognize that the majority of the people out there are just unconsciously surviving, you know, at least for me, at first I looked at it like, oh, it's my job to wake everybody up. And then I looked at it like, why are these people still like just unconsciously surviving? They have the same access to information that I do. And it started to get me upset and angry. And then I kind of, the pendulum started swinging the other direction again. And I was like, you know what? I set the example through my own energy. If anyone is touched by my energy and they decide to start living more consciously, then fabulous. And if they don't, it wasn't their time yet. They're supposed to stay caterpillars just a bit longer before they go into a cocoon. It's not their time. They're not ready to do their shadow work yet. And learning that that's okay. I'm okay, you're okay. You know? And learning that sometimes what you feel like you're missing out on is looking back at you feeling the exact same way. And when we get to a place where we can be happy with where we're at and what we have, and we're not just looking out the window, you know? And if we're not happy with where we're at, instead of looking out the window, we walk out the front door and we go outside and we check it out. What am I missing out on? No, you can't do that. You can't do this. You of all people know better than that. Like, you go outside just fine. And it's weird. Nobody really seems to bother you usually. I've seen pictures and, you know, like there's a couple of like little things of like you just kind of like chilling out and waiting in line and walking around and nobody's really fucking with you. That's like a superpower, you know? That's role model status as far as I can see, you know? There are people who are scared to just like step out their front door and you're like, oh, I'm going to go walk to the shops. I'm going to go ride my bike. I'm going to go. Hey, there's a 7 of Cups. I was wondering where that was. Now we've got 6 sevens. Oh no, that's 7 of Cups 3 times. I'm still looking for the 7 of Pentacles. No, 7 of Cups. I got 7 of Cups 3 times. Sometimes that is choice. Sometimes it's delusion. Sometimes it's illusion. Sometimes it's dreams. Right? dreaming about what could be or what you'd like to be. It can also be the illusion of choice. I have all these choices. Okay, but do you really? Because there's only one that's really shining bright, you know? And then we got 9 of Wands and the third eye. It's like, you know that this conflict, and then you have the Star card and the Queen of Wands, and then transformative healing self. It's like, you know, this competition for this Star energy, this Queen of Wands energy, is actually helping you transform and heal yourself. Princess of Swords energy. Ever the student, excited about learning and increasing inner power. Sometimes the smallest creatures can be the biggest. Sometimes the smallest creatures can be the biggest. What's that word I'm looking for? The biggest role model, I guess, the thing that everybody's looking at. I mean, ants are magnificent creatures. They can carry a massive amount of weight compared to their size. And they are so diligent. They never give up, and they just keep pushing, and they're like, they don't let self-limiting beliefs get them down. And when they can't do it by themselves, they do it together. Ants are amazing creatures. And when you watch an ant level up, and I'm talking in terms of like a human, right? So you look at somebody like they're an ant, let's just say, for argument's sake, one of the masses, right? And you watch this one little ant accomplish such amazing things. It's nearly so inspiring for you. And here you are, and you're supposed to be the inspiration. But your third eye is like breaking wide open. Why is this person receiving so much competition, so much backlash, so many attacks? Why is this little ant upsetting such big creatures? This 5 of Wands is so heavy. Why is this? And it's like, well, this ant is extremely powerful, and the ant is transforming it into self-love and self-motivation and self-esteem, and right? And it's like, wait a minute. If that little ant can do it, and they're up against when they have all the bricks stacked against them, they're against all odds moving forward, and they're still persevering, and they're still making it. Well, then I can do it too, can't I? They have no resources, and they're still figuring it out. I have all the resources, and I'm so scared of losing a third of those resources that I can't even function. And using that ant as like an inspiration, like, holy shit, if they can do it, why can't I? You know what I mean? And there's the other death card. Rebirth, death, and the 6 of Pentacles. It's like, not only are they being reborn and they're dying, but even in death, they're still gifting others. They're still giving. And it's really a huge transformational perspective for him, for you. I say for him, but for you, sir. We can externalize this energy all we want to, but sometimes internalizing it is where that shadow work really starts to, cultivate. breed new perspectives, shifting not only mindsets and character, but also reality. Not just for you, but for everyone around you as well. The more you change internally, the more externally changes as well. It won't be able to stay the same. If you're raising your vibration and you're moving up and you're doing your shadow work, I mean, you're obviously not perfect. You still fuck up. I see it here. You're still fucking up. But you're balancing the fucking up with the fixing and the healing. And it's like you're using the fuck ups to kind of like internalize your lesson and go, oh, I don't want to be like that. Okay. You know, strength isn't always about bigness. You know, that elephant can stomp all over everybody. But truth strength comes from the compassion within. Have you seen how gentle an elephant can be? Good morning. Welcome in. And it feels like a new beginning. But this new beginning is setting you up to be the role model that you thought you never wanted to be, right? But the role model everybody else was hoping you would be. But it's going to be on your terms. It's not on everybody else's terms. And I think that's what's making it okay in your mind. It's like, I'm not going to be your fucking perfect poster boy role model. I'm going to be a real version of self role model. Because not everybody is perfect, but you can come out of the imperfect and you can make something of your life. Like where you were when you were younger compared to where you are now, regardless of the resources you've had access to your whole life, regardless of the title and the and everything else that you've had given to you and gifted you and placed at your feet, right? Regardless of that, look at the struggles that you've been through, where you were in your own mind up until fairly recently, right? The struggle bus. And then coming to this place in your life where you're like, you know what? I'm allowed to have fun. I'm allowed to try new things. I can use my money and my resources and my title to do the things that I was told I couldn't do or I wouldn't be good at or this or that. And now I'm learning, like, it doesn't fucking matter what you think. I'm going to do it. And if I fall flat on my face, then that's my business. It's not your business. I feel like whoever this ant is has inspired this elephant. Happiness, love, swift movement. Oh, what's this card? There's a card. What's going on here? Ah. There's a bunch of cards flipped around. Hold on. Hey, what's this card doing over here? Oh, yeah. 4 of Cups again. But there still seems to be a little bit of that. Like, I wish I could have it like them. But do you really? Because you don't know. Like, do I have the 4 of Cups in this deck to show you? No. But you don't know what's going on the other side of the fence, right? Sometimes the grass looks greener because it's fucking fake as shit. You don't know what you're asking for when you say, man, you know, it looks like they've got it together. You don't know what the fuck they're going through that you can't see. Don't wish what others have on yourself ever. And I think you know that. But then we've got the Emperor here. Got the 2 of Cups or 2 of Wands. Sorry, this is making a decision about your plans, where you want to go, and taking to account this devil energy, the fear, the overabundance, the seduction, and like really bringing it back into self and like meditating on it and going, okay, how do I turn myself back into the student The emperor that stops learning is the dead emperor. You know what I mean? Like, if you stop learning your people, if you stop learning your lands and the problems around you and the situations and possible solutions, when you stop learning, you really block yourself. And I see this perpetual student kind of energy pouring out of you, you know? This ingenue kind of energy, going to these structured, learned places and saying, teach me. I want to do this. I want to try this. Even if you think you know, you're like, I'm willing to learn more. Maybe I don't know everything about what I think I know. This is why you are held in such high esteem. This is why people work next to you. They don't mind working with you because you put in physical efforts as well. It's like every time you gain a bit of truth, you survive another attack. I have a really bad ear. My ear is really hurting. I haven't been. The Tower, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles again. The Five of Wands. Sometimes people who are struggling with addictions of any kind, right? Doesn't matter what it is. Sometimes they need to be alone. Because if you don't get out of the way, they will bring you down with them. Recently, somebody started coming after me. That I have been I believe I was very generous with this person. I was very defensive and protective over this person. And they have been attacking me publicly within my own space. And this is not the first time this has happened. I have had a few people do this to me over the years. Right? You do so much for people and they just... And here's the thing. Sometimes we can't give enough to be able to help people heal their traumas. It's like you think, oh my God, if I can just get them a little bit of this, maybe they can figure it out, or maybe they'll give them a reason to live, or get them into some sort of a this or a that or whatever, right? Give them the resources they're constantly using as an excuse why their life is so miserable. I don't have these resources, so my life is so miserable. Let me help you. Let me see if I can help figure this out for you. Let me give you information. Let me give you this. Sometimes you can't. You have to take, and this is the hard part for a giver. Oh, fuck, this is so hard when you have to step back and go, okay, you know what? I love you. I care about you. I want you to do well. However, I'm going to have to bless you away from me for a while because you're self-destructing and you're going to try and take me down with you. Just because I'm safe doesn't make me a willing target for your assault on yourself, first of all. And I won't be the externalized target for your self-loathing. So there might be somebody here in devil energy blocking you between your path and your peace. And this is someone you probably really care about, but they are making their own choices. You know, when somebody dives into their shadow, it can go a couple of different ways. You can dive into your shadow and start to heal from it, Or you could dive into your shadow and be a fucking douchebag, man. And try to rip everybody else down with you. So I'm just saying, sir, that's what currently was going down with me over the last couple of years. Actually, it's a lesson that I've been having to learn with a few different people. This is just the most recent one. But like even giving so much to an ex only to find out they've been taking, being sympathetic toward somebody who I really cared about, who was using me and laughing about it. And it's like, okay, but me giving to you and you making fun of me, that doesn't make you the bigger person. It just makes you a piece of shit. And I feel like this is, about to transpire or has transpired, but it's like you're catching when you really start heavily diving into the shadow work and you really start embracing your own intuition and your own internal guidance, right? You start to feel the intentions around you. You almost nearly feel like you're a mind reader. You're an intention feeler. And whereas before you might have questioned it, there's the high priestess. Whereas before you might have questioned it, now you're like, no, I'm feeling what I'm feeling. I may not have the physical evidence yet, but I'm just going to operate and move based on my intuitive energy, not based off of what you're allowing me to see. You might have been holding out. But again, it feels like this ant energy is inspiring you. It's like the ant energy keeps getting knocked down, keeps getting fucked with, keeps getting things thrown at them, and they get back up and they do 8 of Pentacles. They turn a black canvas into golden pentacles of success. And that's a skill. And it's like, well, if the ant can do it, then the elephant surely can. Sometimes the only thing people need in order to wake up from their survival existence, right? Their unconscious survival existence is just to see an example of it being done differently, right? Man, if that little kid can do it, then maybe I could do it. Or if that old man can do it, then I surely should be able to do this. If they can wake up at 80, then I can wake up at 60. And if I can wake up at 60, they can wake up at 40. And, it's like you're starting to really process the idea that sometimes you're not in somebody's life because you're physically responsible for them. Sometimes you're in somebody's life because you're just a spiritual wake-up call. Look what can happen for you if you open up to it, if you wake up to it. See, I'm stretching and it probably looks like I have a weird tick or something. That's weird. And it hurts. My neck hurts so bad. I need massages. I need like regular massages. Seriously. I can't afford it, but I need it. I need it. It's really helping you to move into a King of Cups energy as well. Oh, I want a sailboat so bad. I want a sailboat so bad. Have a great day at work. Welcome in. Thank you. Smarty girl. You know, sometimes people will say things to you because they mask it as a curiosity or a concern, but really they're trying to take a jab at you to bring you down a few notches. I wonder if that might have also been what that was. You know? Like masking it as genuine concern, but really it's just a way for someone to try and get you self-conscious and bring you down so they can get you to do or be or say or have or whatever they want. You know? And I'm wondering if that's really what that was. It's like, oh, you're trying to tear me down because you feel insecure in my presence. Maybe that's a them problem and not a me problem. Well, I mean, it's not a me problem. There's nothing I can do about it. I'm in pain. Six of Pentacles. This is the Death card, but it's a welcome ending. And the Queen of Cups. Oh, and then the unwelcome ending, which is transformation and transition. And then the Four of Wands and the King of Cups again. I didn't shuffle very well, did I? They did shuffle. That's okay. Maybe it came out the way it needed to, because it needed to. 3, 6, 4, 6, 4, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 4, 4. 3 4s, a 6 and a 3. 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, which is 7, 7, 7. I'm making associations where there are none. They both land on the King and Queen of Cups, respectively. They each have a Death card. The feminine energy is receiving a welcome ending through the giving and receiving practice, right? She's using the Six of Pentacles energy to bring on a welcome ending and elevate her to the Queen of Cups energy. And you, sir, are using Four of Wands to bring about death and transformation and transition to elevate you to the King of Cups, both involving groups of people, working with other people. You guys are both elevating right now by working with others. And it's offering you both a new beginning. I mean, thinking about it, you got the death and then you got the new beginning. There's that elephant strength again. Knight of Wands. 3 of Wands. Your ending seems to be harsher than hers. But it's because the path in which you are taking to achieve a level up in the emotional heart space, the way you're moving is determining how it goes. Like you both are getting to the same new beginning. You just both are going about it different ways. You're coming into this death with a lot more, so you're losing a lot more. So it's going to be a lot more painful. She is coming into this death with a lot less. So the ending is more celebratory than anything. But you're both reaching the new beginning together. And it's weird. There's like a working together energy here, light worker. And there's the Three of Wands from the feminine perspective. So I saw Three of Wands from the masculine perspective and Three of Wands from the feminine perspective. I was listening to a reader maybe like last week, maybe. I can't remember. Maybe just a few days ago. I don't know. Time bleeds. But bleeds together. So it was a short little thing. And she was making the, I can't remember if I shared it or not. But she was making the association, she's like, I've never seen it, but I remember people talking about it, and I remember it being used as a saying. But, the Brady Bunch and the sister's like, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. It's all about Marsha. And the reader was like, look, it's an interesting thought. Everyone's always like, oh, Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. But, like, look at it from Marsha's perspective. Like, she's being hated on because she is a kind person and she's good looking and everything always happens for her and she's charismatic and right? That's her energy. So she's being hated on because you're not finding fault within her. It's like the sister's jealousy is like bleeding out onto the canvas and just like mushing up the image. So it's like, was it Cindy? I think it was Cindy, the sister that was saying Marsha, Marsha, Marsha. I think it was Cindy. And she was jealous of her sister, always getting all the boys and always getting all the, good stuff. And it really hurt Marsha's feelings. She's like, and I can't remember the exact bit of it, but I remember her getting upset about it. And it's like, just because I'm nice doesn't mean that I'm like, it doesn't mean that she's the target because she has a different path. But it kind of reminds me of that. It's like the Queen of Cups is going through a welcome ending, like a positive celebratory ending. And the King of Cups is going through a really it feels like a death transformation. It feels really heavy. And then looking at the Queen of Cups thinking, well, why does she get it so easy? Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you're two different energies. First of all, right off the bat, you can tell it's a perspective. The way that she's viewing her world and the way that you're viewing your world are different. She'd have the same death kind of energy going in if she had a different perspective. If she viewed all of the stuff that she had been through and all the losses she'd been through, if she viewed this as a heavy death-like energy, then she'd be in the same frame of mind. But you want to be mad because she's in a better frame of mind than you are about loss? You have the same potential to have the same ending as her if you switched your mindset, Mr. Reeves. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Okay? This is what you're going through right now. This is what you're going through right now. And this is what she's going through. They're both death cards. They're both death cards. But look how she's viewing death and look how you're viewing death. You're viewing the death and transformation as this painful, abrupt loss. Because this is where you come from. She is viewing this transformation as a celebration because this is where she comes from. She's coming from a different place. She has a different perspective on reality. This is why you admire the ant. You admire her, but you're her secret fucking hater, man. There's no other way to look at it. You're a hater. You hate what she has because you don't know how she has it and you want it. And you want to be like that, but you can't be like that because you're not coming from the same place. And you're also not around to absorb that kind of a reality and understanding. Power just doesn't get absorbed. You don't just get to have somebody else's energy and get to be like them just by like watching them or like being in their energy field or standing by them. You have to put your learning cap on and take a seat and absorb and learn. You accept the blank slate that's been given to you with dignity and appreciation and humility and grace. I am honored to be able to learn. How are you celebrating so beautifully in your endings? I want to learn how to do that. Cindy, instead of going, Marcia, 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 she should have been, hey, Marcia, I really admire how amazing everything goes for you and how beautiful you are and how everything works so well for you. Can you just try to just in life, like in general, can you just occasionally try to explain to me how you're doing so well so that I can learn from you? Because I want to grow up and be like you, Marcia. As opposed to Marcia, Marcia, Marcia. She always gets what she wants. Everything always works out for her. Blah, 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 blah. And it's like, you know what? Shut up and learn. Marcia didn't have it perfect. She even had a meltdown in that movie. Because it's really hard maintaining that level all the time. Marcia wasn't a robot. She was a human being. Things went right for her most of the time because she was putting in the effort a lot of the time. She worked really hard for everything that she had going on. But she made it look easy. She made it look like she wasn't doing anything. She made it look like she just had it going on for herself. Cindy didn't see all the effort and work that she was putting in. She only saw the end result. And she was her hater because she saw the end result and she was jelly bogelly. She was jealous. And sir, don't be Cindy. I think it was Cindy. Cindy Lou? I think it was Cindy. Don't be Cindy. If you want to know how Marcia is having a good celebratory ending, then you spend quality time and you sit at her feet and you learn from her. I don't care if she's fatter than you. I don't care if she's taller than you. I don't care if she's skinny, skinny, skinny. I don't care if she's old, old, old. I don't care if she's young, young, young. I don't care if she's ugly. I don't care if she's stunning. I don't care if she has no education and no social upbringing and no breeding. I don't care if she's got all of it. If she has a perspective that is getting her through situations elegantly, and you want to learn how, you desire that, you covet that, the only way that's going to come for you is if you shut up and learn. You reach out, you say, hey, you know what? I've been being Cindy about you, being jealous and talking shit about you, but the truth of the matter is I'm jealous. How do you do this? Because I'm thinking that you're lying about it, because there's no way someone could have gone through all those things and still be working through their shadow and being a healthy, solid human being, not toxic as shit. How do you do it? I want to learn from you. I didn't want to read on this energy, but it's coming through anyway. Whatever. And the magician. Fascinating. You go from the fool to the magician. There is always something to learn from somebody else. And it has a way of leveling you up if you allow it. What is this one? The Queen of Swords. She's a bitch. Okay, well, you're a dick. What are we talking about here? So, who cares? Ten of Pentacles. This is like spiritual elevation. This is laughing Buddha. You know, this is laughing Buddha. It's when you see everything for what it is and you just kind of laugh. You know? There's a point where you get provoked with reality and knowledge, and you're like, well, now I'm the authority, because it's like been prodded and pushed and poked at you, you know, and you're like, well, now I'm the king of whatever this is, and you get a fluffed up ego, right? But at some point you evolve past that point and you go, yeah, who cares? You know, like you start laughing at the people who are being so pompous. You know, it's like, man, yeah, you're the authority. Woo! It's like, it's a joke at some point, because you're like, when are you ever truly an authority? Because you're always still a student in a learning position. So laughing at people who think that they know it all, and respecting and appreciating people who know that they don't know it all. I would rather learn from a laughing Buddha than like a serious priest, a pompous fucking priest, or whatever. You want to learn how to break your generational curses from somebody who's clearly doing it. You just gotta ask. It's path to happiness. 10 of Pentacles and the laughing Buddha. I keep looking at this 3 of Pentacles, and then I look at the 8 of Pentacles, and I just, you see the elevation, Now, I do see somebody here being very sad. Somebody is being walked away from. So I do see, like, there is a death here. You have to walk away from someone in order to walk towards somebody else. And it's going to ruffle a few feathers. It's going to piss some people off. But we are not here on this learning planet for others' comfort. Comfort can equal stagnation, which can equal death. Uncomfortable changes can lead to the most magnificent solutions in your reality. And, you're worried about leaving someone and hurting them or hurting their feelings or breaking, agreements or whatever. But you're not doing them any favors by keeping them in a state of comfort. You're actually hurting them. And maybe they don't want to grow, but they need to grow. You're struggling between these two energies. I'd rather go with, I'd rather go with this one. Sorry, the camera makes it me feel like right is left and left is right. I'd rather go with this one. I don't want to be with this one. I'm responsible for, no, you're not responsible for anyone's healing but your own. And if they're staying here and they don't want to elevate and you want to elevate, then it's about time you say, look, you're not elevating. I want to elevate. We need to separate. You need to find somebody else who wants to maintain comfort with you, or you need to work on your own shadow work and healing, because I've been giving you opportunity after opportunity and you're not taking it. This isn't about a man-woman thing. This is about a soul and a soul. And these are souls. We're talking about souls here. Whether they're in man or woman form, it's just the meat suit. It's just the car. It's the vehicle. It's the motorcycle. It's the jacket. The soul is what's inside that really makes things run. And you've got somebody, that maybe the meat suit looks good on the outside, but internally their engine is seized up. And you're like, look, you either got to fix your engine, or I can't stay stuck here on the sidelines with you. I got to go driving on this path. I've given you plenty of opportunity to work on your engine while I've been working on my engine. You've refused. Now, this other person has their engine fixed, and I can learn how to ride with them. You don't want to learn. You want to stay here and you want to hold me back with you. And I can't do that anymore. I got to ride, man. I got to ride. 2 of Cups. I got to ride. The Empress. It's an energetic match. 9 of Cups. Ace of Wands. 9 of Cups again. Like, she shared this new energy. It's like a sand dollar. It's like the mermaid's money. It's this lucky blessing that you just can't shake. It's just beautiful. Creation energy. Luck. There you go. Luck, karma, destiny, change, choices. And you're like, your third eye is burning through your face. It's like, oh, wow, look at that. Lovers and the 2 of Cups. And then the Chariot. This is pushing forward and moving toward that connection. As fun as this is, I gotta go. Everybody. I don't know if I want to do a reading later or not. I don't know. I might do another one for you, Mr. Reeves. I'm not sure. But happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Reeves. Happy birthday to you. And many more on Channel 4. Scooby-Doo on Channel 2. The Big Fat Lady on Channel 80 and Frankenstein on Channel 9. I know there's more. See you later, guys. Hello, Luella. Welcome in. Goodbye. Welcome and goodbye. Okay. You say hello and I say goodbye. No, you say goodbye and I say hello. Hello, hello. I wonder why you say goodbye. I say hello, hello, hello. All right, I'm going to go. Perspective shift. Happy birthday. Live long and prosper.